Ladies and gentlemen, imagine walking into a room and commanding attention, not with loud words or flashy clothes, but with a quiet presence that draws curiosity and admiration, the kind of presence that makes people wonder, who is he? This isn't about tricks or pickup lines. It's about shifting how you think, how you move, and how you respond to the world. When you adopt a certain mind, call it strategic, refined, unapologetic. You don't chase, you attract. And when you think like this, women will notice. They'll be intrigued, some will even chase. Let me share with you 5 psychological rules, rooted in observation, discipline, and subtle power, that shape the behavior of men who naturally command feminine attention. These are not laws of manipulation, they are tools of awareness. When you master these, your energy shifts. You stop looking for validation and start becoming a gravitational force. Let's begin. Rule 1. Be unavailable, but not absent. Scarcity creates value. This isn't about pretending to be busy or ghosting people for effect. It's about genuinely cultivating a life so full, so rich in purpose, that your time becomes a privilege, not a commodity. A man who is constantly available signals he has nothing more important going on. That unconsciously communicates weakness. But the man who is rarely seen, yet always remembered, that's the man who lingers in the mind. You don't text her all day because you're building your vision. You don't reply instantly because you're not glued to your phone. When you do engage, it's deliberate and focused, not frantic or needy. This subtle tension between presence and mystery creates magnetism. She wants to be a part of your world because she can sense it's bigger than her. Rule 2. Lead emotionally, not verbally. Charisma isn't about talking. It's about understanding. The men women pursue aren't necessarily the loudest in the room. They're the most emotionally calibrated. That means knowing how to lead the emotional tone of an interaction without explicitly controlling it. You don't argue for your value. You embody it. You don't react emotionally to her moods. You remain steady, even slightly amused. If she tests you, you smile. If she withdraws, you lean back, not in anger, but in quiet certainty. This creates a subtle dominance, not through control, but through composure. Most men chase validation. The man who doesn't flinch when others get emotional, who remains sovereign in his own frame, he becomes magnetic. Rule 3. Master detachment, but never indifference to attract without chasing. You must understand this. Desire burns brightest when it's not guaranteed. Indifference kills attraction, but detachment fuels it. You care, but you don't need. You enjoy her presence, but your happiness doesn't depend on it. When she senses that her absence won't rattle you, that her affection is welcome but not required, she begins to chase. Why? Because in your self-sufficiency, she sees strength. And strength, quiet and controlled, is irresistibly attractive. Practice emotional restraint. Don't pour out your feelings in the early stages. Let curiosity build, let the silence speak, let her wonder where she stands. Mystery is the oxygen of attraction. Show interest without availability. Show depth without vulnerability. At least not immediately. Rule 4. Engineer your environment to elevate your value. Hive. You men don't just rely on inner game. They curate their external environment to reflect their worth. From the places they frequent to the people they surround themselves with, everything is part of the ecosystem that reinforces their value. Your world should be a stage that amplifies your strengths. Build an aesthetic life, stay in shape, dress with intention, speak with precision. Invest in your space, your home, your mindset, your lifestyle. When a woman enters your world, she should feel like she's stepping into a narrative where you are the protagonist and everything around you reflects confidence, clarity, and control. You don't impress her with words, you let her feel your lifestyle. And when that happens, attraction becomes effortless. She wants to be part of your story because your story is compelling. Rule 5. Make her earn you. This is where most men fail. They try to prove themselves. They give too much too soon. They pedestalize. But when you think differently, you reverse the dynamic. You don't ask, how can I win her over? You ask, is she worthy of my energy? Give her space to pursue. Be kind, but don't overextend. Reward behavior that shows effort. Pull back when you sense entitlement, not out of spite, but out of standards. You are the prize, not because you say so, but because you live so. When a woman feels she must earn your time, your trust, your intimacy, she values it more. And ironically, the less available you are, the more invested she becomes. But here's the key, this isn't a game. It's a mindset. A man who respects himself never begs for attention. He simply radiates purpose and lets others opt in, or miss out. Think like this, and you won't need to chase. You'll become the type of man whose attention is so rare, it becomes addictive. You'll stop trying to prove your worth and start watching who qualifies for your presence. Women sense this shift immediately. They may not know why, but they'll feel it. And once they do, the dynamic changes forever. Thank you.